Well, good morning, everyone. It is Monday, June 22nd. Well, Monday, June 22nd. I wasn't actually sure what date it was. I just want to say good morning to everyone and happy belated Father's Day for all of those fathers out there. I wanted to come today. It's Monday, right? So typically Sunday or Monday is historically the start of our week, and we actually plan ahead, or some of us do anyway. I try to plan ahead a little more than I used to on Mondays because, sorry, I find that it helps me kind of set intentions. And of course, I do still journal every morning because that really helps me plan my day. And this morning, I realized that I have not been as dedicated to planning my entire week as I could have been. And I'm very fortunate because I do utilize the High Performance Planner, which actually has a monthly view. And so I'm going to start using that more. So I wanted to share my journey with everybody today because, part of our personal growth is challenging ourselves all the time to get better at what we do. So the reason why I think it's important that I plan my weeks now is that I've got to be a lot more intentional and strategic in my personal business build. I feel like even working from home, sometimes it can be challenging to be productive even in my corporate job. So I'm going to try to start using a few more tools to get a little bit more structured so that I can perform at a higher level. And that's what's great about personal development and always growing in some of the things and habits that we adopt. There's always room to improve, and what that allows us to do is to grow. So if we were perfect at everything, we would be kind of stagnant. So it's really good to challenge ourselves all the time. So I had to close my window this morning. Construction has begun already outside of our windows this morning. They're working on the road behind us, behind the house. And it's been going on for a few weeks, 6 days a week. God love those guys. They've got a deadline, I'm sure. Looking forward to that being kind of completed because they start their work at 7 a.m. They finish at 7 p.m. But, tying it back to having those weekly goals, I'm sure that company has some very formulated deadlines that they have to reach, and those guys are putting in the effort to make it happen. So it can be also inspiring as much as the noise can be annoying, for sure. So I wanted to talk a little bit about one of the things that I'm using now, which is the monthly week ahead in my planner. It is fairly new to me. I'm going to have to read some of my notes. I don't take the copyright on this. It is a Brendon Burchard tool. So I want to give some props to Brendon Burchard for adding the week ahead in his new planners. I used the planners all of last year, ordered some new ones, noticed this was a new tool, and I'm starting to use the new tool to help me leverage a little bit more of a strategy each week. So the first thing is, it is a week view, but it has a couple of headings that you can look at on a daily basis ahead of your week so that you have a higher level sort of focus as you go into your week. And then you can tie that back on your daily planner, which I feel is really critical for keeping things structured and keeping your tasks attainable. I think that would be the word. So the first question is, what's the most important thing I need to stay focused on or make happen on this day? So imagine that broken down over 7 days. So that's one of the questions is, what is the most important thing I need to stay focused on or make happen today? And I think that's really critical because it's less about a task like drinking water, unless that's something that you really need to work on, and more about something that will move your goal forward. The next question is, what events or meetings need to happen on this day, and how can I do them exceptionally well? The way I like to leverage that question is to actually edit some of the meetings that I am invited to on a daily basis. I think one of the things that's really important to our productivity is that we don't get over scheduled. What's happening a lot now is because people are working from home, they're filling in a lot of time with video chats or video meetings. And a lot of them are very necessary, but the question I ask myself is, am I going to add value to this meeting? And is it really necessary to move my project forward, or a project that I'm working on forward? So that has been helping me determine what to edit, so what to keep and what to sort of decline. And I think that's really important, because there is an element to your day where you actually have to work on the projects to move them forward. And if you're constantly in meetings, it's really hard to make that happen. The next one is, what's one thing I could do for myself this day that would bring me joy and help me recharge? And this is something that I've really been working on, guys. It's like getting that movement happening throughout the day. I'm very dedicated to my 30 to 45 minute workout every morning, from Monday to Friday. But the challenge really sometimes comes in keeping the movement happening during the day. So one of the things that I've adopted is, a lot of the chats that I'm on, or the meetings that I'm on, don't require me to sit still. Like, I can sometimes focus better when I'm in movement. So we utilize the tool Teams. You could do this with Zoom or any other virtual meeting application, but take the meeting on your mobile phone. And that way you can actually walk around, move around. And like I said, sometimes when I'm not in front of my computer, it allows me to focus more, because I don't have the screens distracting me. So I find that is really, really helpful. And I try to take at least one call a day, or one meeting a day, with that premise, is where I'm going to take that call and I'm going to move. And as long as I have a tool where I can take notes, I find it very productive. And it does, for me personally, it helps me focus really, really well. And the last question is, who is one person I need to reach out to, lead, care for, or work hard for on this day? And what do they need from me? And how can I show up well for them? So I hear in the background there's people getting up in the house, and that's okay. That's part of life and working from home, so it's okay. So it's really about, who am I going to reach out to that day? Who really needs me to show up for them? And like, writing that down really makes it purposeful. So one of the things that I do every day is I call my mother every day. I do write that in my daily planner, because I want to make sure that I don't let other things get in the way. Of course, it's important to call your elderly parents, and it's an organic and natural thing. But outside of calling my mother, there's always one other person that I want to reach out to. Sometimes that's a phone call, sometimes that's a text, sometimes it's an email, sometimes it's just writing a card for someone. And it's really about me making connection and intention every single day with someone different. So that's something that's really important. And then there's an area, of course, in your calendar where you might have some like other projects that you want to work on. So like I said, these are new prompts and a new tool that I'm adopting in my weekly planning. Today, I can tell you straight up, like, that's something that I'm filling out today. And also I'm working on the next 30 days. So it really helps me plan strategically. It helps me set goals that I can attain. And it also helps me feel success. So I think that anybody can adopt a tool. Like, one of the things that I do is I actually use flip chart paper to plan my month ahead. So it's not something that's structured in a planner. And there's lots of different tools that people are going to use that will help them make them successful. So I encourage you to do that. I think that if we could challenge ourselves for the next 30 days, just to, just to adopt a mindset that we're going to plan out every day, plan out the week, and plan the next 30 days, it would be really interesting to see how that comes to fruition and how we're going to measure success in the next 30 days. So this is my commitment to myself and to you, that that's what I'm doing for the next 30 days. So I'm going to give you some updates throughout the next 30 days on how that's going. If you want to join along, please comment below. I think it would be absolutely fantastic to do this as a group, or have a couple of like sign-ons. I think it can help us all be successful. So I think that I'm going to wrap up my day. It's Monday and I got to get at it. So I want to remind you all to inspire others, to connect with those who matter most, and cultivate creativity in everything that you do. Peace, and love.